Welcome, welcome. This is Let's Talk About It Shy. This is your boy, the Black Kelly Several LeVar Hamlin, coming to you. NFL draft breakdown. Of course, I'm a Bears fan, so I'm only breaking down the Bears draft picks, first rounders that we have so far, and let you know how they level. Okay, so what I'm going to begin is DILLON THIENEMAN, drafted in the first round, pick number 25. One of the things I like to use when assessing players coming in is the RS score, the relative athletics guys are going to translate from. I like to use in the process. One of the things I like to use in the process is that you want to see how well these guys translate and play at every level possible here. And you want to make sure you get the right guy, so no matter what scheme or coaching staff comes in, they can translate and adapt very well. There's another test called the Wonderlic test, which is simply about IQ, how well these guys pick up and retain information. So you want to use a lot of these things. But what the RS score does is it gives you a very nice translation on how these guys translate at the next level. So if you take a good look here at Thieneman's RAS score, he has hand size of about 9. His overall score comes out to be a 9.72 on a scale of 1 to 10. That's the athletic testing. So they take account your height, your weight, how much you bench press, your vertical, your broad jump, your 40-yard dash, 20-yard split, 10-yard split, 3-cone drill, etc. And they give you, they basically rate you down here. So when you look at his composition speed overall, which is basically your overall speed, he's an elite company. Okay, when you look at his composition for it being explosive, like just exploding into you, bringing his hips and his whole lower half, he's also an elite company. Now, one of the things he's just okay at is his size. You know, he's going about 6'2", 201 pounds, and believe it or not, when they have bench, all these guys bench about 225 at the combine. They just want to see how many times they can bench it. For a safety to bench it at 18 reps is pretty good. And so when you look at the RS score, everything green is good, red is where they could be improved at, yellow is middle of the pack, and he's a pretty solid player in those regards. And so those are one of the measures that you want to be able to use with grading out some of these guys, because it could go a lot deeper. And I'm going to do a couple more draft picks, but we're going to go through some game film real quick. Highlights, good and bad. We're gonna get these guys at a really good clip. So one of the things I want to do is still sharing. Because I want everybody to see this. So let's see. Excuse me here for a second. Okay, so you have to excuse me dead silence here for a second. I'm trying to queue up some stuff, but let's fuck up too. Honestly, I was trying to get ready to queue up some stuff here, so yeah, we're gonna go through some game film, good, bad, and indifferent. Let me go. Hopefully, you should be strictly my voice over here. So let's take a good dive in and see where we go. Okay. You got have to excuse me here. Okay, so yeah, here we go. Yeah, definitely have to excuse me here, but I'm trying to get everything set up here, but it is a little bit on the quirky side here. You gotta excuse me. But got the pulling up the DILLON film right now. Um, and I just want to make sure before I go any further, because I want this to show really good across the board. Looks like I'm in good shape here. So let's continue here. Full thing. And here we go. So sorry, he's about 205. Some of his highlights here. This guy is a good closer. Comes down. I like the way he feels to gap backside. Finds the alley, squares up. Really good tackler. I like his closing speeds on drags. I don't think he's the best man cover guy, but I've seen worse. And this is good for Doza, #1 draft pick. Hit the running back. Came off the edge, filled out the outside. Made sure nobody comes. Here's another aspect of him playing center field, which I think how he's going to translate with the Bears here. Got another one, split safety. Close is pretty good. I think that's the highlight that really got him to the NFL at this point. Middle in a robber position. Let me go back. All right, he's in the robber position here, middle of the field, and he closes pretty well there. I like the way he slipped the blocker as well. Same position. I like the way he cleaned up the tackle. You know what I'm saying? So he's a very good pursuit guy. Shed that block really well. Bootleg here. was high, like him center field. Like the way he seen the block, he closed right away. You know. Here's another one. Oh, this was him coming off as an edge, as a blitzer. Yeah, he kind of timed that up real well. So here's another pick going against Oklahoma State. I like that breakup. And like they was in cover 2 at that point. Yeah. He's a really good athlete. One thing Dennis Allen is going to do is like moving him around a lot. So, yep, I like that. One thing I liked about him last couple plays when the ball was in the air, I did not like him. He closes well, and he's a very solid, very average to solid tackler in the open field. So he could prevent a lot of big plays, and he has the athleticism to keep up. Anybody kept up with him. He ran the fastest he ran his 40 time was 4.28, and his average came out to be 4.37. So it's not too far off. All right. There's another team against Iowa. Later in the film with the weaknesses, that's one of the signs I'm going to show you here. Okay, he wrapped up pretty solid right there off the bubble screens. Yep. Read option. He closed on the quarterback so fast, and you're gonna have to deal with. You're not gonna have quarterbacks. They're gonna have some speed, but they're not gonna. You're gonna have some Lamar Jacksons out there. Here's another one. This is Frendoza, by the way. Did really well. USC running back. Yep. I like the way he filled that in. Here's him in a borderline linebacker position, weak side. So yeah, filled it in. Very smart, very instinctual player. Bubble screen. He comes out, solid tackle, not too many yards. There's another one, Minnesota. Nice breakup. And that was out that robber position. He's gonna have to be careful. He's gonna have to be careful to get his head around a lot quicker at the NFL level. There's another one. This is Mekhi Lemon too, another first rounder. Against Washington. Closing speed. You gotta love it. You got a lot of guy, high effort guy in that area, and he brings value to you on the special team side as well. Very solid football player. Red zone defense. Oh, I didn't like that. You could have got him for an even bigger loss back in that robber position. Yes, Northwestern. Oregon did a lot of moving around. He went to Purdue, but Oregon did a lot of moving around. This is against Indiana. Here's another one against Washington. Special teams value. Once again, you get traffic guys at that spot. He's very disciplined and detail oriented with the special teams. Okay, we got to go back on this part here for a second. You want to kind of go back a little bit more because I want to see where he lines up. Comes down, center field position. Like his aggressiveness. Running back. Ooh. Nice chase down. That was against Michigan State. Here's another one. Wisconsin. Nice way to fill. Oh, strip the ball. You like that. Cause a turnover. Fresno State. Center field. I think that's the position you're going to see him play more and more at the NFL level with the Bears. Closing speed. You're not gonna get to the outside very easily with him. So, with that being said, those are some of his highlights. Those are some of his highlights that I really, really like. Very detail oriented. Get nothing away from the kid. He's on point. So. But just like all the pros, you do have some cons. And I'm not going to hammer down on too many of those today, but we do need to take a look at a good look at some of the plays that's kind of gonna hinder him a little bit. Some could see those as setbacks, some may not. He's just a really, really tough guy to scout, you know, and you want to make sure that when you draft a player, you got this guy across the board, you know, locked in step, you know, and you get a really good bang for your buck. You know, as we kind of go back, this is some of the sorry. There we go. All right, here we go. He's lined up right here, playing like a deep quarters. Got to come down, and I think that's the thing he's susceptible to. He crosses over his legs instead of just breaking down in the open field and making a short tackle. Sometimes his over aggressiveness could be his own detriment. This is one of the plays. Okay. Yep, has to work on that. Got Ben Johnson as the whole head coach, who's a detail oriented guy, so he should be coached on the fundamental level at the very least. He's a smart player who could pick up things, but you got Dennis Allen and Al Harris, the defensive back coach. I think they're going to help him clean up a lot of this stuff. So he comes here again, bubble, open screen. He lacks that acceleration to kind of keep back up. Going to come back here again. That little stutter step in the snow. This is against Indiana, by the way. You know, there's another one, same play. He's going to have to break down or just make up his mind and go. All right, here's another play. Come back like a cover 2 look. It's coming down on the jet sweep. Like I said, once again, it's almost like he's susceptible to a double cut. You know, his fundamentals here, and on this particular play, yep, crossed that left leg, came over. He kind of could have shuffled, shot his hips, got a for sure tackle at about the 13-yard line here. Definitely got to work on that. And teams in the NFL are running more and more jet sweeps, you know, and you're not going to take down a Deebo Samuel or a Puka Nacua doing stuff like that. Okay. And fast forward, jet sweep, toss. It comes back to that original play here. Yeah, I think it's going to be another same play. Toss. He comes. I like the way he mirrors but you don't never want to let the running back get outside. If you're gonna do anything, take that angle, cut off his outside, make him bounce back. Yeah, see, he can work on his angling. You know, all your help is coming from the inside. Here's another one in that robber position. Yeah, kind of took a could have cleaned up better there. Just get the man down at that point. You know, you really can't go for the big hit unless he was. Those are certain plays you just don't want to happen. All right, here's another one. I think this is against Indiana. Seems like he has a little bit of trouble, but they like to put him in this spot right here. That's the thing about game film. You got to always keep going to look at it. Bootleg comes down for the run. 1-2 steps. Drops. This is a place where I think he has a lot of value. He comes. I think that's Mendoza. Easy, you know, but he take away that drag route right away. You gotta love the IQ part. Look at it right here. Tight end comes across, he takes that away real, undercuts that real quick, stops a bigger play. Look for Dennis Allen to put him more in these positions. It's coming downhill. Now here's the crazy part. This is a wheel route. He comes, meets him here, takes away the quick wheel route, has the speed, but he also got the interception. That's film study. That's film study and great awareness. And I like the way he catches the ball with his hands. He's not a body catcher as a defensive back. Gotta love that. All right. Gave you some pros, gave you some cons. The man is here to stay. He's a Chicago Bear, at least for the next 3, 4, 5 years. I think we got us a solid one. He has some rookie things, some elementary things he needs to work on, but I have faith in Dennis Allen, and I have even greater faith in Harris the. So with that being said, hey, tune in, check this out on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, check out my future scouting debates, reaction videos, etc. coming soon. With that being said, catch you at the next one.